quarter of lesbian, gay and bisexual individuals in the UK have experienced discrimination as a result of their sexual orientation. Defined as a person's emotional, romantic and sexual attraction to another person, with people who are attracted towards individuals of the same sex, individuals of the opposite sex and individuals of either sex, a person's sexual orientation is protected under the Equality Act 2010. The Act lists 4 types of discrimination: direct, indirect, harassment, and victimisation. Under direct discrimination, it is illegal to discriminate against someone because of their sexual orientation, their perceived sexual orientation, or their association with someone of a specific sexual orientation. This includes treating them less favourably by denying access to promotion and training opportunities. In contrast, indirect discrimination involves policies which apply to all employees but disadvantage those of a specific sexual orientation. Harassment refers to any unwanted conduct which creates a hostile, degrading or offensive environment, for example through bullying, exclusion or physical abuse. While victimisation occurs when you're treated differently because you've reported discrimination. Under the law, all employees are protected from sexual orientation discrimination, regardless of the organisation's size. This includes job seekers, trainees, and those who are self-employed. However, there are cases where discrimination because of sexual orientation can be justified, provided the organisation's needs have been weighed against the discriminatory impact on the employee. To prove an occupational requirement, the organisation needs to demonstrate that it meets a legitimate aim and is proportionate, appropriate and necessary for the situation. There is also a specific exemption for employees of organised religions, provided it's a proportionate means of complying with a religious doctrine. What does this mean in the workplace? Employees who experience sexual orientation discrimination are often subjected to verbal or physical abuse, exclusion, and unfair dismissal either as a one-off or repeated action that doesn't have to be intentional to be unlawful. As discrimination is determined by how the recipient perceives meaning, rather than the intention of its instigator, derogatory language shouldn't be dismissed as banter. However, what is considered acceptable language can change quickly, so organisations need to ensure their staff are kept updated to prevent discriminatory incidents. But what can you do if you're subjected to discrimination? The first step is to talk informally with your manager, keeping a written record of incidents so that if the matter can't be resolved to your satisfaction, you can present the evidence as part of a formal grievance procedure or at an employment tribunal. As the instigator is often senior to the recipient, it can be difficult to challenge their behaviour, which is why all complaints should be handled sensitively, and recipients shouldn't be forced to reveal their sexual orientation for it to be taken seriously. So how can organisations support lesbian, gay and bisexual employees? Well, start by supporting employees through the coming out process, by respecting their dignity and following their direction in terms of who should be told and when, as revealing someone's sexual orientation without their permission is a form of harassment, breaks data protection laws, and can damage levels of trust in the workplace. Remember that this process is personal, and that some individuals may not want their sexual orientation to be known at work. Create an equality policy which stresses the organisation's zero-tolerance approach to sexual orientation discrimination by stating what behaviour is and isn't acceptable. Explain how discriminatory incidents should be reported, and ensure organisational benefits are free from discrimination. For example, same-sex couples should receive the same benefits as heterosexual couples, including discount policies, in-service benefits and parental leave requests. In summary, the Equality Act 2010 prevents everyone from discrimination, regardless of their sexual orientation, and encourages organisations to treat all lesbian, gay, heterosexual and bisexual individuals with dignity and respect, boosting their overall well-being as they feel happier, confident and more engaged with the people they work with.